It's our Gidget of Gadgets, Katie Linendoll, for the latest in sports technology and ox roast recipes.
And a happy Friday to you, everybody. Sunday at NFL on CBS doubleheader showcases some of the most exciting young quarterbacks of the game, including an AFC West showdown between the Raiders and Mahomes' Chiefs. Burrow's Bengals meeting Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, and later an NFC East clash between the Giants and Cowboys. It all begins with the NFL Today at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, only on CBS.
CBS Spectacular, yeah!
This is so exciting. If you are watching at watchda.com or inside the radio.com app, or perhaps on Twitch as well, our next guest would really appreciate us with our new Twitch channel at CBS Sports Radio. She is the Gidget of Gadgets. This is her first time in studio with us since pandemic has hit. She joins us regularly. This is actually the first in-studio guest of the DA show's home studio. So this is history here. And she's got travel guide gifts for us. Here, we're welcoming on the great Katie Linendoll. Katie, good morning.
Good morning. I got to tell you, I rolled up to the DA-ville. This is like Wayne Enterprises. You guys, like, I was literally waiting for a butler and, like, the horses as I made my entrance. This place is insane.
Well, thank you. The butler is the squirrel that I think you probably saw. He's the guy that takes care of everybody. We can't afford any more help.
Got it. Edmund. Noted.
Yeah. Edmund the squirrel.
Sounds fancy.
He's the guy.
The third.
Yeah. So you made it up here.
I made it up here.
And you're doing your own road trip, right? You came up here to road trip for the show, and then you've got some gift ideas.
Came up here to road trip. I am on this media tour right now as an ambassador for Rain-X, and it is a New England radio media tour. And I picked your locale because I get to pick a place in New York State, and I'm like, this place is beautiful. It's known for the history, the wineries, the apple picking, and I'm like, here I am. So it's awesome to be in the DA Enterprises.
This is good. We're going to bring you by the high school next so you can see my social studies classroom.
Totally.
And then we'll go to the cafeteria. It's going to be wonderful. We'll have a whole day out of this. So you're in my neck of the woods, which is great, and you brought all cool goodies for us.
Oh, I brought you a ton of goodies. No shortage there. And, of course, being an ambassador for Rain-X, I brought you the first thing first. So I've been on the road now, and I know a lot of people are starting to travel more, especially as the weather is incredible. Don't need to tell you that. But people are, I think, a little bit hesitant still to fly. So we're seeing a lot more people on the road. I can tell you, as I've been on this road trip, I've seen more campers and RVs than I've ever seen before. Obviously, because the autumn is huge in New England, but some great gadgets and technologies to hook you up and to keep you safe while traveling. It was interesting when I was doing my research. The Department of Transportation says 21% of all accidents on the road are weather related. So I'm big proponent. This is something I've been using for years, just to hit you with that first gadget. The beading technology, the water technology of Rain-X, you put it on your windshield. If you are a car guy or gal, you know how great this works, especially if you're going over 30 miles per hour. It will bead up the water on your windshield, and it will just blow right off, and it's a quick and easy treatment. Awesome for anybody that is making a road trip, but also just driving anywhere. There's nothing worse than being in a deluge and you have no visibility.
Yeah, and especially this time of year where you have big rainstorms and tropical storms if you're in the southeast, and hurricanes if you're down south. That's a pretty good idea. And you're right, there's a ton of campers on the road these days.
Yeah.
I think everybody's just digging, like, instead of flying, going to see a new place, but doing it in a little style and getting out of the road. And the foliage is amazing. The weather is turning, which is amazing. So it's...
I can't stand the word foliage.
Why not?
But it's so, like, the tourism here is insane in New England. But it's like, oh, did you go see the foliage? It just sounds too fancy for me.
What about if you say, are you leaf peeping?
That's even weirder. That's weird. Leaf peeping. Yeah.
Doing some leaf peeping this weekend?
Oh, my goodness.
Me, you, Ma. Let's go leaf peeping.
Do you know, I saw this guy selling leaves for $15 a pop. And I was like, I'm in the wrong business.
And who's he selling those to?
To people that don't get foliage.
Come on.
True story.
Bag of leaves?
$15 for a leaf.
Not
I was
one
like,
leaf, a bag of leaves.
I'm available. I'm available. You want me to go pick some leaves?
Oh, well, now suddenly I know how we can afford the butler.
Yeah.
I got a lot of leaves outside that I could sell them.
Send the lady out to get some leaves. Pick some winners.
Honey, I'm sure you wouldn't mind going out and collecting about 7,000 leaves. We're going to be rich.
7,000.
So, all the red ones. Grab them.
May I say, there are 7,000 around this facility. Wayne Enterprises. Truly.
I got a lot of work to do.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, what else we got here?
Okay, I brought you some more gadgets because I know I'm got you hooked up for this road trip. This blew my mind. This is a braking bar. How many times have you been driving? Someone's real tight up on you and you're like, oh, please do not rear end me because you hit at the brakes hard.
Yeah.
The braking bar actually monitors how many times you're 100 times per second. How many if you slam on your brakes, it will know, and it sends these very visible LEDs right on the back of your windshield. It adheres to the back of your windshield in a matter of seconds. It's super easy to install. But I like it because it also pulses, or it also does a steady light. So it gives that extra visibility to somebody to say, dude, slow down if you're right behind me. You don't want to get rear-ended. So I thought this was a nice gadget, inexpensive, under $100.
Also very important in the Northeast. We've got some slightly aggressive drivers.
Slightly.
This is a place that tailgating is
Slightly.
not only... It's
Do you use the term
it's actually
brake check?
encouraged.
You ever brake check somebody?
Of course. Yeah. Dude, get off my ass.
Brake check.
Brake check. Brake check. Your
Boston
fault.
drivers are the worst.
Yeah, because you're now in the Boston area.
I am.
mean, talk about aggressive.
I have drove all over the world, from Alaska to Iceland. Boston drivers are in like a category of their own. And then you start playing like the video game. You're like, oh, you want to play? You want to go? I'll go. I'm competitive. I'll get competitive. And then you're like, you just got to relax. All right, I'm just going to bring it down a notch.
And now, with Tom Brady gone and the Celtics eliminated and
People
the
are
Red Sox are
angry.
bad. Yeah, they're really angry right now.
Yeah.
So you're getting a lot of aggressive New England drivers these days.
That's true.
And if you're slowing down a leaf peep and you got people that got somewhere to be, forget it. They're not happy with you.
Listen, we got good
Move
visibility.
over!
Yeah, move. Oh, yeah. Wicked smart. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Quit looking at the leaves.
Going to get some roast beef. Get out of the lane. That wasn't very good, but next time it'll be better.
I like this breaking bar.
Yeah. All right, next up. This is a must-have. I've purchased over 10 of these as gifts. There's a lot of battery charger options on the market. This one, though, is from MyCharge, and it's a hub. And what's great about it is it's all about extra battery life. There's a number of different sizes available, up to 54 hours of extra battery time. Ooh. So you got your smartphone on the road, you're driving, runs out of juice, no problem. This should be on you at all times, but I like it because it has the cords built in for Android and iOS, and it also has an AC plug adapter, so you can plug it into a wall
that's nice.
to charge. So again, number of chargers on the market, but this is like the all-in-one.
So this is MyCharge Hub Plus?
Hub Plus, and a number of different sizes too. So there's a little bit more portable options. This baby is one of the bigger ones, which I like because it gives you extra juice. But must have, you got your smartphone, great for GPS, but you need it for an emergency.
So this is actually really a good idea because yesterday I'm on the road with my brother and he's only got one charger port in his car, right? So he's charging his phone because we were using the GPS. And my phone is dying, and I've got no way to charge it. And if I had something like this, it's the size of like a wallet, basically. And you can have a USB input in it. And then you also have if you have an iPhone or an Android, you have those little clippies as well. So this would be kind of perfect. This is actually a really cool thing. I want one of these, the Hub
You
Plus.
always do a good job of explaining gadgets because I realize, not everybody is watching the live stream. But this one time, I forget what gadget I had, and you said, it's roughly the size of a buffalo nickel. I was like, who uses that as a reference point?
Well, I think we know most of my audience is in their 80s or 90s anyway.
A buffalo nickel? Like, oh, right, a buffalo nickel.
Right, I just got one of those for my birthday from Grandma. A buffalo nickel. This is actually really good. I like this. And charging ports have become way better over the years. Like I remember I had one like 5-10 years ago, and it was a disaster.
And a dinosaur was probably like a brick.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, it was like if you were looking at somebody, using a cell phone from like the 80s. That's what the old charging ports used to be. It was like a huge brick.
Yep.
Cool.
And I have all these gadgets on a D.A. Leon's blog post on my website.
Oh, okay. So
I know we're short on time, but I got them all listed there for you to make it easy.
Well, we got a little bit more time right now. So KatieLinendoll.com is the website.
Yep.
And if you go there, you should see the DA show links, right? There's a whole blog post of all the stuff that we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, so what else we got on that?
I want to give you one that's a very underutilized app that I use pretty much every single day. And it's on, if you're an iPhone user, it's called Find My. There's comparable versions on Android as well. But Find My is an app that you can locate any of your friends and family. You can pinpoint their exact location, and you can also set like a perimeter for if they leave the area to get notified. I love this for being on the road because if you are driving, you don't want to bother somebody on text or call them. You can see exactly where they're at and when they're going to be arriving. Free app, super easy to use. Do you use Find My?
No, but I'm thinking about it if you are a paranoid spouse or you have a...
Just giving you ideas.
If you're in a relationship where you don't quite trust the other person, I'm just going to track you wherever you are, and then I'll know exactly where you are at all times.
How do you get past that first though? Like you have to agree to be tracked. Like, hey, just hit the accept button.
Yeah.
Just this is a great app. I just
I'm going to send you an alert. You just say yes to it. It's fine.
Yeah.
You'll and then. Yeah, I'm out shopping for groceries, honey. No, you're not. You're at the bar. I can see you at the bar. You are drinking right now. Is that a Michelob Light? You've had 17 of those. Just because they're low alcohol content doesn't mean you're not drunk.
It's a McUltra. Jeez.
So that's what's the name of that app?
That is Find My. It's built in, and I feel like
good for kids if you're tracking your teenagers and kids with phones.
And also, by the way, it shows you all of if you're in the iOS ecosystem, if you're an Apple user, it shows you where all your devices are. So if you happen to lose your watch or your laptop, it'll show where that device is.
I could use that. Just not long ago, I lost my entire laptop, my second laptop, my old one. I had a new laptop, and I'm like, I can't find my old one. I need a file that's on that old one, and I'm looking at.
Who loses a laptop?
I know, and it's because in the move.
No. Because Wayne Enterprises, everyone, is insane. DA Enterprises.
The squirrel lost my old laptop, and I had to ask every squirrel in the neighborhood what is going on, and then I finally found it. If I had this thing, I would have known exactly where it was. It was at my parents' house for some reason.
May I say, I also am like waiting for somebody to come bring the plate of like fancy appetizers that you're like, oh yes, I'll have one, but really you want the whole plate. Like that's what we're dealing with here.
The raccoon
let
ate
everybody know.
The raccoon ate them all. Anything else?
Moose Crossing. Yeah, I wanted to hook people up with an option of showing their team pride on Zazzle for under $15 starting at. You can make your own custom car flags of your own logo or design or your favorite sports team, which are plenty available on the site. So really cool option. I think, you see people driving by and they're like, yeah, they're all fired up. Great for your own home tailgates because obviously business isn't open at the stadiums, but a fun little option and a great gifting option if you're taking that road trip. Easily attaches in a matter of seconds to your car window and fantastic to show your team pride.
I like that idea because we can't be tailgating at parking lots right now and at games. And so you're looking for other ways to kind of show your pride. We can't go to games mostly. So having a flag on your house, on your car, wherever, showing your team pride. That's a cool idea. I've used the website Zazzle before because they personalize a lot of things, a lot of different items, and it's a really easy website to use as well.
Very easy, and they always have coupons.
So you don't like saying foliage, but you do like saying cupies.
That's true. Point made, okay? Point made.
How has pandemic been treating you? Our listeners have been kind of begging for the next Katie Linendoll hit.
Oh, thanks. I love the D-Aliens. Can I say that? Yeah. I've made so many good friends just from like listeners. And if I could kindly give a shout out to Rob 321, he is.
Oh, he's now head over heels.
And he's awesome. He is an awesome guy.
He's been in a bit of a feud with Mraz.
I saw that. I saw things getting aggressive and heated real fast online. And I was like, are things cool? Like, do we need to send in like an arbitrator? Like, what's up?
Well, Rob thinks that Mraz needs to sit one out. That he's a little too obnoxious. He's a little too vocal about some of the things that's been happening. And he's like, Mraz, you don't have to have an opinion for everything. And Mraz said, well, you have an opinion on everything. You tweet about every single segment of the show. So now they're in a feud of who's more obnoxious, Mraz or Rob the 3-2.
I have to be honest. I am pretty much. I don't think there's ever been a time where I didn't agree with Mraz. So I'll just let that be known. There's probably stuff out there that I don't, but Mraz and I are pretty much on the same page.
So the website is katielinendoll.com, and there's going to be a link to all of the items we just talked about, right?
All the items we just talked about and tons of gadgets on my website. And I will be on tour. You're the first tour stop.
Cool.
Yeah, the
Very
Let
cool.
It Rain X tour.
Let It Rain X. I like that.
Appropriately named.
Now, Katie is going to be back with us in a few weeks for the annual Spooktacular episode here on the show. And I don't have my costume yet. I don't even know what I'm going to be. Well, I guess Have you decided on 8 of your 10 costumes yet?
I have. I'm going.
You've been workshopping this for months.
Not only have I been workshopping it, but my dear bestie that is here with me, Alicia, she has got the prosthetics ready. We're going.
Oh.
We're going big.
Oh.
We're not just like, slapping on some makeup. And also, I'm one of those girls that I'm not the typical what you would think. Like I want to be as unattractive as possible.
There's
with
no
my Halloween
sexy
costumes.
cat in your
Nope.
future.
None.
You're
None.
more like hatchet wound through the neck.
That is
eyeball falling out.
They're like, that was an interesting choice. Like, that's what I'm going for. And we went over it last night. She's like, you sure you? I'm like, absolutely. Let's move forward with that. Great idea.
We love Katie because mostly females around Halloween. Okay, what's the most flattering costume? And Katie's like, what's the least flattering costume? I want to be somebody whose limbs are falling off and are approximately 300 pounds heavier than I am. Okay,
Correct.
What can I do here? How can I get this?
Spot on.
So she's going to join us in studio again, the home studios, in a few weeks for the Spooktacular episode, so stick around for that. We did learn one piece of trivia the other day when we were doing Super Mario trivia, because 35 years since Super Mario Brothers was delivered.
Yes.
And it was that Luigi and Mario, I think we've had this debate with you, don't actually have a certified last name. We don't know if their last name is Mario or something else because they're the Mario Brothers, because that would mean that they're Mario and Luigi Mario. That has not been set in stone, but we do know that Luigi is an overthinker and a nervous worrier. So
have you played Luigi's Mansion? I mean, it's clear out the jump. Yeah, you needed like Wikipedia to figure that out?
Well, we just thought it was very appropriate that Pete the Body related to Luigi so much, and then we found out Luigi was a nervous worrier.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
He's my guy.
Katie, it's always awesome to see you. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everyone.
KatieLinendoll.com. KatieLinendoll.com for that gift guide online.